Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Well, which way is America going? Well, we have an old-timer here that's been around, like me, for a long time. His name is Van Hipp. He was Deputy Assistant Secretary of the Army, worries about our country, worries about how our kids and grandkids are going to make along. And he's also now the chairman of the American Defense International in Washington, D.C. Well, Van, tell us about your thoughts today. This year is 250 years for our country. And, Van, I'm going to tell you how I feel. If the wrong person would have become president in the last election, I'm not sure we would have made the 300th year for our country.
No, John, you're absolutely right. I think this country was hanging together by a thread until President Trump won, and thank God he did. Our Western values and culture are under attack, and there have been studies out that show that, and this came out on Holocaust Remembrance Day a few years ago, 22% of millennials weren't sure if they knew what the Holocaust was. 67% had not heard of Auschwitz, and the Woodrow Wilson Institute found that only 1 in 3 Americans could pass the citizenship test. So I think the 250th, and God bless President Trump for what he's done with his Salute to America 250 task force, but the 250th is an opportunity for us to instill in young people what it means to be an American, what our forefathers went to come to this country and assimilate, and a chance, I think, to really save this generation, because, as you know, President Reagan reminded all of us, freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction.
And, Mr. Secretary, I can't believe how close we came to ruining this country under the President Biden Association. And, I don't blame President Biden because I don't think he was mentally there. And the people around him running the country at that point, I mean, they had invasion. People invaded our country with drugs, with criminals, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, finally, President Trump was aware of that and he straightened it out.
He did, and the Forgotten Americans, God bless them, came out, and we saved this country. I think that was the last election. You're so right. And one of the things that President Trump has done, too, I think internationally, and also domestically, focusing on the workforce that we need to compete in the world and also to deal with communist China. John, I had the honor last year to give the keynote address in Taiwan at their National Security Summit. And I said artificial intelligence, quantum, and spectrum. Those are the 3 equalizers of the battlefield. That's how a smaller combatant can go toe-to-toe with a much larger adversary. And President Trump is doing so much in these areas, and also workforce development. And we're seeing things now. President Trump had his acting Secretary of Labor, Keith Sonderling, visit Florida Atlantic University just last month, because they've got a high school down there and an elementary school, A.D. Henderson University School, where kids are learning about artificial intelligence. They just won a national drone competition, and the secretary was blown away. So we're seeing schools like that. Baylor, I talked about Spectrum. Baylor University right now, young people from all over the country are going there right now to learn about Spectrum and workforce development so we can win the Spectrum race versus communist China. But President Trump, with his leadership, has put so much of this in place.
Well, what do we do? I mean, we have a big November election coming up. And, and half the country is trying to criticize President Trump. But, my money is on Trump because I know him for 40 years. I know him for 50 years. I know he knows what he's doing.
You're right. And a lot of people have lost a lot of bets betting against this president. But I do think, what we've got to do, and I wrote a piece not too long ago praising the superintendent of education in South Carolina, Ellen Weaver, what she's done. She worked with the American Battlefield Trust, John, and I'm on the board of that. And we work with her, and we have a curriculum, K through 12 in the public schools of South Carolina, what it means to be an American. That's the kind of education we need in our public schools to save this generation. And our good friend, Governor George Pataki, when he was governor of New York, he worked with the American Battlefield Trust to preserve the battlefields and try to do the same there in New York. But we've got that framework, and I think the 250 is an opportunity to get other states to replicate that all over the country.
Well, Mr. Secretary, thank you so much for everything you do for our country and continue to do for our country. And thank you as the chairman of the American Defense International. Tell me how you're working on that to help our country go forward and make a better place for our kids and grandkids.
Well, over the years, what I've tried to do is find technology that America needs, particularly from a national security standpoint, and also from a medical standpoint, but mainly years ago when I ran the mobilization office at the Pentagon for the Army, I had to learn a little bit about a lot of things, and that's been my focus, focusing on the national security things that America needs to maintain that competitive edge against our adversaries.
Mr. Secretary Van Hipp, thank you so much for coming on, and thank you for continuing to work for our country, and we'll catch up with you again real soon.
Thank you so much for having me. It was an honor.